All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Clay Lake. I run and build remote sales teams, mainly for like info offers, guys who have coaching offers, the people you see on social media that have a course, have a coaching mentorship group, and do a lot of high ticket sales consulting. Still in the weeds. I still jump on calls. This is Chris. He actually closes on one of the offers that I manage, but I get so many people in like my DMs or my comments that want more like high ticket sales stuff, talking about how to actually get roles. And honestly, I just want to use this video, like maybe like 10 minutes, just to kind of talk about like why it's actually difficult to find the right offers, or if you're new to high ticket sales, why there's a lot of guys who kind of like offer the coaching programs, but don't really set the right expectations up front, and just try to be super raw and real with you guys and kind of tell you what it all looks like. So first things first, if you're brand new getting into high ticket sales, you're not gonna be able to get onto these roles that are like 10K or 15K OTE. And what that actually means is on target earning. And the reason for that is I actually shot like a quick reel about this, and it got a good amount of engagement. Is think about it in sports. Like if you're coming up, or you're not very highly recruited in high school, we can use like baseball as an example, even though I was more of a basketball football guy, but baseball is a good example. If you're not very like highly recruited, you're a 1 or 2 star recruit, you haven't had a ton of experience, you didn't bat the best percentages, you didn't hit enough home run, like you don't have a lot of like experience, you're not gonna be able to go straight to the MLB. You're probably gonna have to go to like AA and then AAA, and it's gonna take you time to get to like the big leagues. It's the same thing in high ticket sales. Like if you're brand new, you have no sales experience, especially in like high ticket or like through Zoom and doing it online, like these offers that are like on these placement job boards that say like, hey, we have a 10K on target earning, or we have a 15K on target earning, they're not going to like, they're just not gonna hire you because like you don't have that experience. And like vice versa, if you have a ton of experience, but you're super egotistical, you're not coachable, you're not willing to follow processes, a lot of recruiters and managers like myself aren't gonna really wanna bring you on the team either, because then like you're not gonna follow the process that we have set forth for that offer. Chris, he had a bit of a different route though, because he wasn't like brand new to sales. He came from door to door. So if you're like a door to door rep, or you've been in sales in a different, I guess, market, if you will, like you do have one step ahead, but you're still gonna have to kind of start at the bottom. Like you're still gonna have to get a set role. You're still gonna have to kind of eat a little bit of shit for a few months, learn the processes, get kind of kicked in the teeth a few times before you're gonna be able to earn a role at that caliber. So today I kind of want to talk about like ways that you can actually get that experience, how you should actually come into this if you're genuinely looking to get in high ticket sales, like if you actually want to do this, what to actually expect, because it's not the freedom that everybody talks to you about. It is a job. Like people talk about time, location, financial freedom, and their time freedom, location freedom, and, financial freedom. And like, yeah, you can get some sort of financial freedom, you can get some sort of location freedom, but like, there's no such thing as time freedom. And you can definitely attest for this as well. Even myself to this day, like I'm not even on as many sales calls anymore, but still a ton of meetings with just like offer owners, fixing different systems, fixing onboarding processes from sales to the CS, client success handoff. Like there's really no such thing as time freedom. So that's like the first, I guess, lie that they give you in high ticket sales is like, if you're looking for time freedom, that's not this. But if you are looking to make good money, there's definitely good money in it, but there's also a lot of offers that aren't always the best offers to look out for, and we can talk about that as well. But Chris, I wanted to bring him in because otherwise it's just me yapping to the camera, and people don't really want to listen to that because like, oh, this guy has something to sell me. But for you, you were on a door-to-door rep, and then you actually bought a high ticket sales like coaching community type of offer. Like kind of tell them like what you went through so they can give like actual like real shit, because like he even has guys from the other community, we're not gonna say what it is, but like they're still hitting him up for like one-on-one training and like, dude, how did you get this offer? Like how did I find you, or you found me? And like just kind of give them like the quick spiel so we're not 30 minutes in, but like how that actually looks like from someone who's actually looking to get high ticket sales like you were, what, 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah, so I started in door-to-door for a minute. I was doing door-to-door for like 2 years. I ended up getting out of that. Got into car sales for a little bit, and then I saw like a bunch of like people online and like Instagram and TikTok. They were talking about, oh, like have this financial freedom, have this location freedom. You don't have to work as many hours. You just sit there and sell. You don't have to like set appointments. None of that bullshit, and it's not true. Yep. So I ended up drinking the Kool-Aid. I bought like this high ticket sales course, and honestly, like now that I'm kind of looking back on it, like I wasn't really taught a whole lot. Like it was the same stuff that everyone sees online. He was just teaching the exact same thing, the exact systems, like nothing crazy. And I was supposed to get on this offer that was doing like 15, 20K per month for a closer, and I got in and it was the absolute opposite. I was working literally like 10-hour days. I was setting my own appointments and closing them on top of that, and there wasn't that many leads, right? So I really did eat shit for like 2 months. Like I was only making like 1,500 to like 2K per month. And then I actually was about to go back to car sales because I was like, dude, I'm making way more money. Like I'm still working the same amount of hours. I'm just going to do something I was already good at. And then actually one of our buddies hit us up and he connected me with Clay. And I know when he connected me with Clay, I just wanted an opportunity. Like I just wanted to make some fucking money. That was pretty much it. So I actually went from closing to appointment setting, right? So I was doing outbound, and I ended up like my first month I did like $8,000, and then I transitioned to a closer, and then I did 15K my next month. And dude, looking back at it, like it really just comes down to not so much of like what you say, it's just like what you learn, like the systems, the way you're actually supposed to, the process, the way you're supposed to talk to a prospect, understand their needs, their wants, their desires, their pain points, and like not saying all this corny shit you hear on Instagram, like that symptom problem stuff, the heaviest head that wears the crown. And it's not so much about like getting super emotional. Like stop saying the corny shit. Like it actually never worked when I was on a sales call, like going like, oh, how does that make you feel? Or, what would that do for you if your life did this, that, and this? Like, are you going to do it for your children? Like it doesn't fucking work. Like
the reason it doesn't is it feels fake. Like a lot of people in the high ticket sales space will try to like make it super complicated. So then you feel like you have to buy something, you have to get coaching, but like, of course, there's a lot of value in it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say everybody that sells a coaching program is bad. Like, I mean, I literally help a lot of these guys scale their offers, but there's something to be said about, like, the best way to learn is to just do it. And I think the main thing that's a big flaw and a big, I guess, lie and why people are so nervous about high-ticket sales is, like he said, when you hear, like, this 15K to 20K a month for a closer, like, you got to know what that actually means. Like, in high-ticket sales, if an offer is doing $100,000 a month, and they only have one closer, and that closer's doing all of it up front, that means he's making 10K. Normally, closers make 10% of cash collect, right? Like, you don't get, like, the full contract value up front. Like, it's on cash collect. So if you see offers that are like, hey, we're at 15K a month looking for a closer, that's a horrible offer. Like, that means... that essentially means that, like, their closer's making $1,500. Now, if they're, like, doing $250,000, $300,000 a month... like that's and above that, like that's where okay, there's real earning potential here. If I come in and be the top dog, I can make 5 to 15K a month, maybe even 20K a month if I really come in and scale it. But like the reality is, like most of these offers are always going to float their numbers the same way that you see online. That's like I make XYZ per month doing XYZ. Like everyone floats their numbers. Like it's marketing. So the same thing with recruiting. Like when you see these offers that have all these big earning potentials, like normally it's not as good as it sounds, which is also okay. Like I don't want to make this video about like obviously trashing high ticket sales. I mean, this is literally what's given me the freedom that I have in my life. Like we moved to Tulum. For context, like I moved to Tulum. I was in Miami for 2 months, and then I moved to Tulum because like I didn't really want to get a 12-month lease, and honestly, Miami was just insanely expensive. And I was like, I like Tulum. I came down here. I kind of like the life out here. It's a little bit slower, and I like riding my motorcycles, and I like listening to house music. So it's just what I like to do. But like the freedom is there, right? Like you're able to do that. You can work from anywhere. And then even like Chris, like I was like, bro, just come down to Mexico. Let's just lock in. And like since then, we've been able to like make a lot of progress in certain different things. And also like even the same offer that he made 15K a month on, like his income dropped the next month because he wasn't good at sales. It's just businesses ebbs and flow. Like in info, a lot of times you'll have these big months and then ad spend will go down, or the offer owners want to switch something up. Like not everything is in your control. So it's important to understand, like, choose the company that you feel like you want to sell this. You see real growth potential, but then on top of that, like be willing to go through the hard months, because like not every month's going to be perfect. And I think that's the next thing that's like a flaw about high ticket sales is there's a lot of offer hoppers, a lot of closers that'll just like offer hop. Every time you offer hop, you just reset. So like you lose that loyalty to the offer. Now it's like, okay, it's a new guy on the block. You're not going to get the good leads. You're going to have to learn a whole new process. There's just a lot of shit that goes into it. So I'd always tell guys is like, if you're just getting into it, it's still okay. It's still a great opportunity, because like if you're working a job you don't like or even like you're in car sales making good money, but you're slaving your life away a little bit. You're not happy with what you're doing. You're just not enjoying it at all. Like, there is a real opportunity in high ticket sales, because at the end of the day, you are selling something that people want. Like, they're clicking on a YouTube video, they're clicking on an ad, they're watching a VSL, maybe they're going through a webinar, maybe they're buying something low ticket, so they're buying something not expensive, and then jumping on a call where you can sell them something more expensive. Like, it's a really good process for a salesperson, because really your only job is just to communicate the value of something that they already are interested in, and build a gap from where they are now, where they want to be, and what their timeline is, and just make it more logical. And the emotional stuff can still come into it, but I think what Chris is trying to say is, like, you guys probably see a lot of high ticket sales guys, and they're going so deep into the emotions and how does this make you feel. What I always try to look at sales is, like, it's just a conversation. Like, if you're talking to somebody you just met, and the first thing you say to them is like, hey man, I make all this money, and this is like, it's just not very organic. Like, it doesn't feel natural. Like, if you meet someone new, just walking around, let's say like you go on vacation and you go meet somebody, like, you're not just going to immediately talk about how much money you make and all this and that. Like, you're going to just genuinely ask them some questions. Like, hey man, what's up? What made you want to move out here? Like, you're going to just have a genuine conversation, but it's more about learning the process, which is another, like, again, lie in high ticket sales is you have to have like this perfect script. You don't.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. Everybody has the same script. It's set a frame, do discovery, do your pitch, do your, maybe they have a temp check, maybe they don't, drop your price, and then everybody has their own objection handling stuff. The key thing is to pick somebody that you like, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the best guy in the high ticket sales space. I have a lot of friends in the high ticket sales space that are great at what they do. We all have a pretty similar process. I think if you're like online and you're looking around and you're trying to figure out like what's the best person to learn from, or like if you're an offer owner looking for like who's the best guy to like manage and build my sales team, you want to know it's like a good culture fit. Like, the same thing that I look at in sales reps, like the reason I liked Chris, of course, he was like very open to an opportunity. He was open to getting on the dialer and going outbound. He didn't need this big OT. He was like, dude, I'm just looking for an opportunity to learn, and I want to get out of this offer because this isn't where I want to be. I want something long-term. I want to be in a good team. Like, he had that culture fit. I knew he was going to be down to come out in Tulum, no questions asked. Like, same thing. Like, if you're an offer owner looking at some sales management companies, like, find the guys that like, okay, I could work with this guy on a daily basis. I could trust this guy with my business, with having, being the first actual impression of your offer, of your business, and being able to trust that. And then if you're someone looking to get into high ticket sales, like, just find the guy that you actually enjoy listening to, that you actually feel like you can kind of like build resonance with, or like you can resonate with their story or the way that they sell. Like, I'm probably not going to attract the super mindset, emotional people, because like my sales process is very straight to the point. Like, I'm not very like, I guess, abide by the rules. It's more just like, hey, this is my sales process. It's very specific. It's more authoritative. It's more like, you take more of like the authoritative, the expert frame, and like you're kind of coaching them and pushing them through a little bit. Like, people call it hard selling. I don't really think it's hard selling, because if you're selling something that actually gets good results, there's no such thing as hard selling. It means that you have conviction of whatever the fuck you're selling, so you can help them. And sometimes that means pushing someone past the level of feeling comfortable to make a decision. Even if it is their last few dollars, like, that's your job. And some people might feel that some type of way about that, but like, I decide to choose offers that I'm confident in that actually have good results for people as a sales management company. And then the same thing kind of goes down to your sales reps. So
that's actually huge, because like, like for instance, like hard sell versus like soft sell. Now that you bring it up, like if you're soft selling, you're gonna get a lot more refunds than if you were to hard sell, and that's the truth. Like in door to door, we had this hard sell where they kept what they bought and they never returned it, they never charged back, and then you have the soft sell where if you were beating around the bush and you didn't have those proper expectations and the customer didn't actually know what they were buying, like you get a lot more refunds, and that like hurts your commissions too. So like hard sell is low-key like the way to go. I just had to add that in because a lot of people think soft sell is good, but it's actually not. That just means you don't know how to sell.
Well, this is a good conversation too, because everyone thinks about like the new high ticket sales or just sales in general and like the new generation of 2025, 2026 going forward, like in comparison to like the Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street days. But since the dawn of time, the best sales reps were very authoritative. Mm-hmm. Because like if you believe in what you sell, it's okay to like ask hard questions and hold people accountable. Like everyone has a specific objection handling process. Like you mentioned the symptom frame or the symptom problem, or we make fun of some of that stuff that you guys see online. And honestly, I'm not the guy to hate on people. Like these guys that put out their content, they get good views, they get good reach. I'm sure they make good money. But like in a real world context, like if I even think back to like most of the calls that I close, like yes, do I follow a process and a frame? 100%. But most of them is like the reason why a lot of times as a manager, I'll step in and close a deal that maybe a closer can't close is just because I have the balls to like get on the prospect and be like, dude, you told me that this is what you want. You told me this is checking all your boxes. If the only thing is that you're scared because you've been burned by something in the past, do you really think that's a good way to look at life, and a good way to make a decision is just by letting that other decision that maybe was a fuck up, maybe, you know, you didn't do the things that you needed to do, but maybe it was just a bad offer, just a bad thing in general, but like, why would you let that whole power of the way you make decisions down? That's just stupid. And like genuinely saying that, like being very like upfront and being authoritative, like pretty much in a way, I don't want to say bullying, but like really pushing them and coaching them and consulting them to like saying yes and giving you money. It's not because you're a scammy salesman. It's because like this person's taking time out of their day to jump on a Zoom call with a random person about an offer to make more money, or about an offer to lose weight, or about an offer to fix their marketing or fix their sales, whatever the problem is. So it's like the whole point of that call is like they do want to say yes. It's really not that hard to close. Like a lot of people make this so difficult. Yes, the reason you're a closer is you have to prepare for no. Like we wouldn't need sales reps if everybody could just click a link, watch a funnel and buy, like especially something expensive. But at the end of the day, like you just have to learn how to prepare for no and how to handle that and turn that no into a yes. And a lot of times that turns into the beginning. And a lot of people talk about discovery, but like discovery goes so much deeper than just like what questions you should be asking on a script. Like it's more about a process you have to genuinely understand to take someone through. You have to genuinely understand the beliefs that they have to break and have in order to make that decision, in order to actually feel power to make a decision for themselves. Because if they feel like you're making the decision for them, that's not going to work either. So when I say authoritative, the authoritative selling style isn't so much about like being a dick on the call or like forcing someone to say yes, because that obviously doesn't work. It's more about earning their trust by from the first 3 seconds, not being so buddy. Like, hey, not saying like, hey, where are you from, man? How's your week been? And like all this bullshit that really everybody knows it's bullshit. It's more just like jumping on the call and be like, hey man, real quick, do you got the time allotted for the call? Cool, all the decision makers here. Cool, man. So I know you opted in for this, looking for help about this. Give me a bird's eye view on like what specifically you're even looking for, so we don't want to waste each other's time, and I can see if this is actually something you'd be looking for. Cool, discovery. And you're getting right into asking questions around like, what even made them want this offer? What specifically are they currently doing? Why is that not working? Or what's currently keeping them stuck? How long have they been stuck there? What else have they tried, right? Getting into past experiences and figuring out why that didn't work, so you can build the ammunition you need to honestly pitch how you're different, right? Getting an idea of like what they actually want. And the why is like important. Like I'm not saying you don't have to ask people why they want their goals, but the why is really important in terms of asking it in the right way. Like you don't want to ask them like, oh, well, why do you want to make more money? It's like, dude, no shit, they want to make more money. But it's more about like, what does that number specifically mean? Like a big thing that I talk about in my sales processes is that, sorry, I'm getting a call. Yeah, in this. A big thing I talk about in my sales processes, and I think it has helped you out a lot as well, is money is the biggest thing. Like a lot of people will talk about like emotions and like their pain and their desires, which are all important, but all of it stems from money, especially if you're selling B2C. So if you're selling info right now and it's a make money offer, which is majority of info, you know, if it's a drop shipping offer, or if it's an AI offer, or if it's a high ticket sales offer, or if it's whatever, if it's a business opportunity online to make more money, the reason they're on the call is to make more money. So like a lot of times the way I kind of frame why and things that on my sales calls is like, look, you said you want to make 30K a month, but like, what does that actually mean? Is 30K a month meaning like you're able to kind of like break out of the lease that you're currently in, travel, do what you want to do? Is it more so just to pay the bills, get out of debt? Like, you know, obviously you want to make more money, but like why that number? It sounds like you've thought about that before. And the reason that's more important than asking like, well, why are you feeling so stuck in pain? And like, you know, do you want to feel happier? Happy's fucking stupid. It doesn't even, happy's just a feeling. Like, it's more like for most people, the reason they're on these calls to like make more money is because they have an idea in their mind. Like they have all these dreams and their goals, but that always starts with a number. Like they're like, oh, if I could just make 10K a month, then I would have all these things. Mm-hmm. If I could just make this amount of money, then I would have, they don't even think about all of those things until the number is. So you have to make like the number in their head of how much money they want to make real. And then you can kind of go and probe deeper into like, okay, well, why that number? Like what's behind that? Versus being so emotional and doing those things. Because at the end of the day, money makes our decisions. I watched Jeremy Haynes, shout out Uncle Jay. I'm not even a marketer. I just like love watching his stuff. And I work with marketers, so I still like to learn marketing as a sales manager because it allows me to kind of have conversations with marketers that are on the offers and figure out like what we have to do from an offer and from a messaging standpoint. But like he had this video talking about like make more money and why you have to get more richer. And he's like, you know, if someone's dog gets really sick and it's a very beloved dog and it's a $5,000 surgery and you're broke, your love for your dog doesn't make the decision. Your fucking money does. If you can't afford it, your dog dies. He's like, me, I love my 2 little wiener dogs. When it's their time to pass, I'll pay $25,000 to get a replica of the exact dogs, and my dogs will never die. Now, some people might think that's kind of crazy and materialistic, but it's at the end of the day, the core message behind it is money makes your decisions. Money makes all your decisions. If you're watching this video because you're curious about high ticket sales, it's because you want to make more money, most likely. It's not because you think I'm cool or because like, oh, these guys live in Tulum. Like, yeah, that's cool, but like the main reason is like, oh, if I was making this much money, maybe I could do what they're doing. Yeah. So like, I kind of just went off on a tangent, but I think that's a big piece of like why a lot of sales training has gotten a bad rep, unfortunately, which sucks because like, I don't want this video to be bashing the high ticket sales space, which is kind of odd just because that's what I'm in. It's more about just telling you guys like the raw truth and why like don't believe in these guys that are saying like we can get you all these massive earning potential offers, because the truth is you won't. Like, and that's okay. If you're brand new, just go make 4 or 5K a month for a couple months. Learn the processes on a difficult offer. Like the first year I was in sales, I only made 10K a couple of those months towards the end. Like I had to sell on an offer that was difficult, and it wasn't because I was bad at sales. I was still closing at 40%, collecting half of the money up front. The offer just didn't have the opportunity, but I had to go through that offer to build the experience, to build like all the no's. Like I had to go through all the no's and all the failures to kind of learn how to build my own framework, my own process that I now use for my sales teams in order to get the better offers. Now, you know, as a salesman, of course, if I wanted to go back to high ticket sales and be a closer, I could probably go find any offer I wanted to because of the level of experience and skill that I built up. And in the reality, it's only been, he's got to go hop on a call. I'll wrap this up now. But in reality, like, it's only been a fucking year. Like, or it's only been a couple of years, you know what I mean? Like, that's a short time frame. So Chris had to jump. That was kind of we ended up going for about 24 minutes or so. Maybe we'll cut this up. Maybe I'll just leave it raw. But just want to get the camera out, start talking to you guys a little bit. And regardless, I think high ticket sales is an amazing opportunity. If you don't have a lot of startup costs, like startup capital to build a business, and it's a service-based business, you want to hustle, you want to learn a skill that you can use for any business in the future, it's a great opportunity. But the reality of it is there's definitely a lot of people out here selling stuff that isn't just having the right expectations. So if you're brand new, like just don't expect to go make 10K a month on an offer. Like it's going to take time. And if you do have experience, then like, yeah, that's a bit of a different conversation. And I guess this video wasn't really made for you. But if you're an offer owner that's looking for sales management, like it's important to know who you're working with, that they've had experience as a closer, they've had experience building teams, they know the sales systems, they have dialers, they have automations and workflows to do a lot of heavy lifting for setters, for closers, to where the setters and the closers can focus just on the skill and taking the calls and closing the money, and you can focus on producing the content and not worrying about fucking anything else. So that being said, that's another video. I'm trying to stay consistent on YouTube for y'all, but it's been a couple weeks. I had to go back for the holidays, but hope everybody had a great holidays. Let's go crush the new year. We got New Year's coming up here in a couple days. No, actually tomorrow night is New Year's. So we're going to celebrate 2025 and go hit the ground running hard in 2026. That's a wrap.